All right, so I just want to come on here today to just, express my gratitude for, my experiences. I've been, I haven't been gone that long, but I have been gone, and, I plan to do videos, but I was sick, my voice is starting to act up. This is probably the third time I made this video, and that's okay. So I had an upper respiratory infection. I had lost, before I found out I had an upper respiratory infection, I had lost my voice for, about a week. And then it took another week for my voice to come back. And prior to that, I had the stomach flu. I am in my senior year of college. So dealing with that and school, kind of, I would say, took a little toll on me. I did, continue to do schoolwork, but it became overwhelming, especially when my body was sick as it was. But like, I just wanted to come on here today to just talk about how grateful I am for the experiences that I've endured. There's so many things that I could cry about, that I could be down about, and I even had moments where I almost allowed anxiety to take over me because of that lack of control, because that's where anxiety does stem from to an extent, that lack of control, not being able to control the situations you're in. But I released that control, and like, I'm just so grateful because things could be worse, but it's like I've been presented with so many opportunities, and everything that I've endured is only going to make me stronger. And I'm just grateful to be able to grow and build, which I feel like a lot of us take for granted, the opportunity to grow. We always expect things to be done so perfectly, but for me to be able to take my time and grow, for me to be able to be accepted at the stage I am in my life, for God to put so much trust in me to elevate me where I am is an amazing feeling. And I'm just so grateful for that. Like, honestly, that's the only reason why I came to make this video today, and I'm using my cell phone simply because I didn't, feel like setting up my camera and doing all that. I just wanted to use and speak while the emotions are flowing through me. So I, like I said, use my cell phone. This probably like I said earlier, my third time making this video because my phone storage ran out. But I'm like, you know what? Nothing's gonna stop me. And like, I'm just so overwhelmed with joy. Like, the experiences I've experienced this semester alone, I've had so many ups and downs because it's like I'm getting down to the wire. What am I going to do with my life? All those different things ran through my head, but it's like at this moment I feel so much peace over me, and I'm just so blessed. And we have to like learn to live in the moment. We have to learn to just be happy with where we are and just put that trust in God, knowing that no matter what, God will make, when you make room for God, God always makes room for you. And it's a blessing and an amazing feeling to just be at peace, regardless of the ups and downs, regardless of what you're going through, knowing that at the end, God is going to pull you through. Because we have to understand, experiences that we go through things for a reason. And as we all know, bad things happen to good people, but everything I've endured, I'm taking it as a lesson. I'm taking it as it's building me up, because it is. My experiences, my circumstances, and all that is just creating me and shaping me and molding me into the woman that I've been called to be. And like, I'm just so blessed and filled with joy to be able to understand that, and to be able to, look within myself and just continue to like just be filled. Like, it just feels so good to know that God is on the inside of you, because when God is inside of you, no matter what comes your way, it's like, it's just a connection. It's hard to explain, but that just connection, that feeling of warmth that you get on the inside, knowing that everything's going to be okay when things appear not to be okay. And that's the great thing, because as they say, seeing is believing, but you got to get to a point where you don't have to see anything. And me, I don't need to see anything. I don't need to be accepted by everybody else. I don't need any of those things anymore, because I know that regardless, I'm going to be okay because God has me. Because there's like, I mean, there's been so many things, especially with being in the school, being a senior in college. I'm only 21 years old. Like, this is a blessing to be where I am at the age that I am. Like, it really is a blessing alone for me to be able to push through. I transferred to VCU. So to be able to transfer to the institution that I'm at and still be where I'm at is a blessing. So this is part two to the video I started. Like I said, I'm using my phone. Hopefully I can stem these two things together. But like I said, yeah, to be able to transfer from university to university and to be where I am is a blessing. For God to give me the strength to walk alone, knowing that I'm not really alone, but in the flesh, to be alone and okay, to be alone and at peace in this season, because this season is a season for me to be isolated so that I can be structured and formed into the woman I have been called to be. And it's just a blessing. Like, so many things have came my way that I could just be so down and out about. But instead, I just feel blessed. Like, honestly, I'm just so blessed. But honestly, I just really wanted to come on here just to, express my gratitude just in general. Like, I'm just beyond blessed and grateful. And the thing is, you would think that, no, I wouldn't say you would think anything, but, I didn't get anything. I don't need to have anything but peace, the peace of God, to feel blessed. It's not about materialistic things. None of those things to me even matter. Just to have a peace of mind, to feel the love of God, to just know that I'm not alone, even when in the flesh I am, and knowing that God is going to line up people to be in my life, to position themselves and help me continue to elevate, is a blessed feeling. There's so many things I have, questions about, but I don't need those answers anymore because I'm secure in knowing that God is going to work everything out. I'm no longer pushing and trying to seek deep within, because sometimes we dig too deep trying to find the answers to things that don't need to be answered. And other times it's right before us. It's just that, lack of faith. Like, the answers to our questions a lot of times are right before us. We say we don't hear God's voice, but God is speaking to us often, but we're just not listening. We're only channeling our ears to hear what we want. We need to let this video and these streams of 3 videos be an example to you of how, when things happen, you keep pushing. I just received a phone call which interrupted my video. And the thing is, let's talk about me for a second. I'm going to be transparent. I am a perfectionist. So I understand what God is doing and what God's trying to get me to understand with the little trials and tribulations I've had with my videos in general. And, especially with someone who's a mass comm major that has experience in video editing, I am a perfectionist and I will want things to look a certain way, but God is trying to get me to understand something. So this is the 3rd video which has been interrupted because of numerous of things. It goes from my storage one moment spontaneously, I run out of storage, to me receiving some bill collector call that wasn't even for me. And it's just really interesting how as soon as I get into a flow and get into my groove, you would think, okay, you know what? I've tried this so many times, I'm done. But no, I'm sitting here again, going to finish this video. And this is just an example. This is an example of how things can happen. But this particular situation and things like, see, we got to start to understand and get at the root of our problems and circumstances. If you continue to react the same way to things, you're going to keep, that cycle is going to continue. I may have mentioned this in a video, or it may have been one of those videos that I haven't even had a chance to upload, because I made a few more, but circumstances have come. But this one will be out. Regardless of how I look, regardless of how it's set up, camera quality, I don't care about that stuff no more. What I care about is doing what I'm supposed to do and getting that message and getting that word out. I just felt so grateful today, but my gratefulness has turned into a lesson. My gratefulness has turned into a message. And that's a blessing within itself, for God to reveal even more things to me while I speak. Because it's just really funny how that happened. But I'm going to continue with what I'm saying. Continue with, what I was saying. But like I was saying, we sometimes, we only listen to hear what we want to hear. But I got out of that habit. And it's like, I promise you, like, to be transparent, again, I'm such a perfectionist. And I've been placed in a situation where perfection is not acceptable. God is placing me in situations, and these situations are a lesson. And this cycle has been broken. And it's so great to understand that. And it's so great to know that situations and circumstances do have a reason. And as we all know, everything happens as something that we all say, or something we all heard before. It's more so kind of like a cliche, but it holds truth. Either something is a lesson or a blessing. And ultimately, in my opinion, it's all a blessing. Whether it was a lesson or not, it's a blessing to be able to break a cycle. It's a blessing to be able to be in a situation and remove yourself out of it because of God's strength that He has given you. So it's like I look at everything as a blessing. And like for me to just sit here today, like I'm telling you, there's so many things I could be down and out about, but I'm not, because I know God is good and because I know things are going to work out. I promise you. And it just feels so great. And like I said, these 3 stems of videos, it's nothing but an example within itself of me being worked on and me, being shaped and molded right before you as a woman I've been called to be, because I am a perfectionist. I am a person who likes things done, doom, 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 doom. That is me. But the thing is, being a person that's boom, 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 boom isn't always in alignment with God. So God is going to break that, and he's going to continue to break it, and already has been broken, because in order for me to walk with God, it's not about, okay, well, at this age I want this, at this, because me, I had a plan for my life. Okay, I graduate college, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that in this order, 3 years from that, this, and this. It's not about my plan, it's about God's plan and being able to walk with God. And that's a blessing, to walk with God. Walk with God, follow God's path. Not following his path thinking it's going to be perfect, but following his path knowing that obstacles will be presented before me, but that I'm going to get through them. That's what we have to begin to understand, because a lot of people think that as soon as you walk with God, as soon as you start this journey, it's going to get easier. No, it's going to get harder, because things have to be broken. We have to be broken to build up. Like I mentioned in another video that I'm not even sure I uploaded because of circumstances, I talked about rebuilding from a fresh foundation. We have to stop trying to take old pieces. Like, I'm just beyond blessed right now, and I'm going to stop. But hope you enjoyed. It's probably going to be super long, but hey, I'm just doing what I've been called to do. I'm doing what I'm told to do. And I came here to just express gratitude and just thank God. So like I'm just feeling so blessed right now. God is really using me today. This is something else that's going to be streamed into it. I'm back again. But it's just God gave me a little nugget just now. God wanted me to understand that I am good enough as I am. I am good enough as I am. And he wants you to understand that you are good enough as you are. Don't worry about trying to change yourself into the person that they want. Just be the person that God has called you to be, and everything else will work out. Like, I don't need to be an expert. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to be made whole in God and walk with God, and everything is going to be okay. And I feel so good right now for God to tell me that I am enough. For me to understand that I am ready. Like, the drive that I have to continue this fight and this journey is just overwhelming. The strength that I have to push through when I just want to just give up sometimes. And sometimes I joke about, oh, I'm done. No, I'm not done. I'm just beginning. But I don't want control of it. I don't need control of it. God is just beginning. And oh my God, I just feel so good right now to know that I am enough. Because honestly, the only thing that I need in this life is to know that I'm doing what God wants me to do. We got to get to a point where we surrender our whole entire self. You can't just be halfway in and pick and choose what parts of your life involve God. Me, I'm all in. I've been all in. I'm all in. Like, this is not a game for me. I'm all in. Like, before I do anything, get to a point before you do anything, pray about it. God, if this is from me, let it be. And just because it doesn't happen right away doesn't necessarily mean it's not for you. It could be the simple fact that God is developing you more. God just wanted you to be aware. Sometimes that's why you have to be very attentive. That's why you have to study your word. That's why you have to seek within yourself sometimes. Because sometimes, just because something doesn't happen right away, just because you receive a rejection, doesn't mean that it wasn't necessarily for you. You see what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that it wasn't for you. It could, in some cases, mean that it wasn't your time. It wasn't your season. It could simply mean that as a preparation, like I said, there's something that happened. I won't say what it is because it depends. I will speak on it eventually. But there's something that happened. And I got sick, which pretty much made me in a situation where I could no longer do what I needed to do. It was something that I was asked to do, and I couldn't do it because I got sick. Now, I could have took me being sick as an excuse to, I don't have to do this no more. But I took that as, okay, this is just the beginning. So sometimes those rejections are just the beginning to prepare you. Because sometimes, like I said, that was a pretest for me. God gave me a pretest. Like, okay, I just wanted to know if you were ready. I need to know that you were ready. That when I place you in front of things and people, that when there are the no's in the mix, that you're still ready to push forward. That in front of adversity, you're ready to push forward. So sometimes God needs to know that you're ready. So you're going to go through tests. And you're not going to pass every single one. And that's why you get up and keep fighting.